Okay. Well, went anthroposophical and general and otherwise curmudgeon, complaining to the spiritual world. Right now, the world of human beings, the way it's organized, does not give us justice with regard to the crap that's done by the oligarchs of wealth. All over the world there are dictators, and the people have pretty much started to say, we don't want to be dictated to. Doesn't make any difference whether you're in Tunisia or Egypt or Oman or Tibet or China or the United States and Wisconsin. Ordinary people are tired of carrying the burden of running the major parts of the world, that is, trying to raise the children and follow the rules, when the people at the top of the social structure, who have all kinds of advantages and way more stuff than they need. Nobody needs 8 homes, 4 helicopters. Okay? And there's no real world consequences for those folks. They just get to run amok. And I'm sorry if the spiritual world thinks, that it's karma and all the rest of this stuff, and I've sort of been agreeing with that for a while, but I'm not agreeing with it anymore. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm saying to whatever communities of spiritual beings are connected to the world of nature, and nature's got a horse in this fight. These people are running around dumping all kinds of crap into the food chain. And maybe, what's coming in the future is a collapse of civilization so horrendous that it's going to just shake people down to the roots because of the fact that we have abused all the powers of science and are ruining the world. I don't know these things. How are we supposed to know these things? What I do know is that I want the beings of nature to get political. Now, what do I mean by that? I want a statement from them. I want them to have a vote. I want to include them. I want to have conversations with the world of birds and the squirrels and the foxes and the rest of it. There used to be a time when we probably could do this. And I want that world back. And I want it now because I want on March 21st for birds and whoever to gather at the state capitals and at the Capitol in Washington, D.C., and at K Street in Washington, D.C., and at the financial places in New York, and I want millions of birds to just come and land on these places and crap. I mean, they do it naturally. They got to let go of stuff. But I think it would be just great if these specific places where the oligarchs of wealth and their servants, the politicians, all of a sudden looked up and it rained crap. And I mean on the Democrats too, do it to the White House. Obama is not the friend of the people. He's the friend of the rich. Now what are we supposed to do down here in the bottom of these societies? Most of the people in the United States don't want the wars we're in. And maybe some higher being can justify through I don't know what, karma or whatever, that we have to have these wars and stuff. And I say, I'm tired of it, We need a break, and we need to know that the world of spirit cares about the human beings. We need to come back to that. Not just sort of find our way. I don't like the way the world is organized. I think it could be better organized. And if it makes for chaos and strangeness and people not knowing what's end is up, I think it'd be really great if something would happen in the United States out of the beings of nature, if they would just show up on one day out of the next 1,000 years and say, yeah, we hear what human beings want. That old curmudgeon went, yeah, we got it. You know, if I've got a card to play in this, you know, if they need my life, if I don't care what it is they need, I'll give it to them if they'll just get off the fence, come down here and realize that they're participants in the world. They have a horse in what goes on here. And we need some help getting the attention of the rich and the rich class and the political class, which don't need stuff, you know. These guys go to Congress and they want to get rid of our health care and not give us anything, and they've got the best health care in creation. You know, if these congressmen really believed what they say, they would act in totally different ways, but they don't act in totally different ways. They say one thing and then they do another thing. They're a group of hypocrites up to their eyeballs in making trouble for the rest of us. And hidden behind them are these rich folks like the Koch brothers, and then there's these intellectual, oh, I don't want to get started on Karl Rove and his ilk. People who make ideas that are totally useless, and the media, which is, you know, just belongs to the corporation. It doesn't, you know, they're so behind the times. I'm sorry. You know, I'm 70 years old. I've lived through all this crap, and I'm tired of the spiritual world sitting on the fence and saying, oh, well, life's got to be tough. You know, and then there's the cliche, you only get what you can handle. God only gives what you can handle. And I say, yeah, maybe. Are we in this together? Are the invisible beings, the beings that stand behind the beings of nature, are they in this with us? Are the higher hierarchies, you know, the ones that make earthquakes and all the rest of that stuff happen, are they in this with us? Christ said, I'm with you to the end of time. I believe him. I think he is with us, and I think he suffers, and I think the Divine Mother suffers, but I don't think they make the rest of the beings of the spiritual world, you know, do anything but be high and mighty and aloof. And I'm pretty much pissed at high and mighty and aloof, whether it's a human being or a spiritual being. And I'm pretty much pissed at a guy like Rudolf Steiner who says some of the things that he says that I'm going to talk about in some of these next videos. I'm just tired of it. You know, I think it's possible to have an idealism which is really sucky. Down here on the earth, in the Americas, there's a lot of suffering. And as a wizard, which is just a wise fool, you know, if you really understood what a wizard is a wise fool. This is my prayer, or my petition, or my cranky rant. March 21st, Nature Kingdoms. Get off the fence. Participate. Now what's going to happen? Well, let's think about that a little bit. What is going to happen? What's going to happen is going to be really interesting. I can pretty much guarantee it. Let's look at that next.